Welcome to Why They Play the Game, a show created to discuss the NBA on and off the court. I'm just one of your co-hosts, Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Ken Hayes.
Oh, my brother, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. Weather, a little warm today, like 53 in
Oh
Bruce
man,
City, so
hey,
can't complain.
you take that in Bruce City, bro. We we we
Right.
we hit the we hit the 80. We hit the
Oh my
80
goodness.
today. So it
Shoot.
was a little unexpected, but after dealing with that cold, although I'm from the crib, I'm soft. I'm not gonna even lie with you. That cold weather, man, I can't handle it no more. I've been out of it too long, Ken. I'm soft, so I'm happy that we got some warm weather. 80 is a little bit too much, but I'll
I'll
deal
take
with
that.
I'll deal with the high 50s and 60s, even the 70s. But Ken, while we getting ready to discuss a very serious topic here in Bobby Portis, um,
Okay.
folks, as always, hit that like, that subscribe button, and notification button. We need it helps our numbers. Of course, we're building the show, growing the show, and everything you do, every comment you make, every time you hit that like button, folks, you help the show out, and we appreciate that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bobby Portis
All right.
Jr.
Oh,
Suspended from the Bucks. He took the wrong, I guess, medication. I don't know much about medication. Tramadol, they said, and the other one, I don't know what it was. Man, I don't know much about medication, opioids, anything like that. However, it's a banned substance from the NBA, and they hit him with 2 to the 5, 25
yeah.
games. Ken, what was your initial, because you actually hit me up with it. I didn't even know
Right.
that happened. So you hit me. So what was your initial thoughts when you knew that Bobby was going to take a seat for a minute?
Mike, before I even begin, I don't play a doctor on TV. I just stayed at a Holiday Inn, bro. So I
I understand.
they say it's a performing enhancing drug that he took, which is banned by the NBA. Which, okay, I give you that. But I read in the comments about the drug that if you take four, let's just say Advil, that's stronger than what he was taking.
Yeah, I heard it's not a powerful painkiller, but I don't understand how it could be a performance enhancing drug when it's an opioid. And what I do know, man, that pretty much puts you to sleep. I mean, it's supposed to. It don't give you energy. It doesn't give you an advantage to me. When you in those, of course you got these these opioids out here that are used for heavy pain medication. I just don't see how it
Right.
could have been a performance enhancement drug. But go ahead, Ken.
But Mike, the thing about it, then there was, later on, a couple of days after he got announced, they announced that the 25 game suspension, they said his assistant, whatever that may be, gave him the wrong, wrong painkiller
Ken,
or pain
def-
medicine.
Ken, define in your opinion his assistant.
Do his grunt work.
Was that Ray Ray?
That's
Is that Ray Ray?
yeah, exactly right.
We
So
when we hear that, we know what time that
right,
was one of his boys,
shoot,
probably.
yeah, exactly. And Mike, the other thing that I'll say about this is that when this happens to any athlete, folks are going to look at them with a side eye, like, "Oh, this what you doing?" It could have been clearly just a mistake, bad mistake, whatever you want to call it. But the thing about it, now you kind of got that side eye that they looking at you like, you cheating, huh? Even though it could be completely innocent. That's the thing that um, that's what I look at, and that's what I'm pretty sure other people are looking at too. Don't get me wrong. I think Bobby is. I never met him before, but on the court, just how he handles himself, seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
You know, I know he got a lot on his mind. Grandmother passed away, who raised him. They broke into his house, stole basically, let's just say, all his valuables.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could have been a mistake. We never know. Only him and his assistant Ray only knows what happened. But the thing about it, Mike, it's just a bad look. And let me get to the basketball side of it. With him being out 25 games, for him and the team, where, how are you going to pick up that chemistry when you come back? Then the other thing on the flip side is who's going to take up your slack? Who's going to come off the bench and give him? Bobby was averaging, I think, let's just say 13.5 points per game, about 6 rebounds and maybe assists and a half. So who is going to take that, take the minutes, get that production? I have my thoughts about it. I'm Kevin Porter Jr. So
yeah, you play Sims more, play Sims more. He backs up Brook like we've seen,
Right.
What's the vibe in the city, man?
Locally, a lot of people they disappointed. I had one listener tell me that, the Bucks, they threw, yeah. And
hold on, man. They say the Bucks are through.
As far as let's just say getting to the championship, or trying
to
get
that was questionable even with Bobby,
right,
but I don't think that you can throw the towel in. I mean, it's not like the guy is gone for the whole season. He's gonna be back. Right. But go ahead, kid. I'm sorry.
But I had another listener saying, Bobby just says he has to, when he comes back, he has to come back full force. I'm like, okay, I'll agree with that. And just put his head down and work and go to work. But I still think, Mike, they're gonna lose that chemistry in those 25 games. I could be wrong, but that's just my thoughts.
Well, I mean, back to the whole mistake, and again, as you have said, Ken, so true that nobody knows but him and his assistant Ray. Folks, we just called him Ray. We don't know who the assistant is, but we do know they did not say it was a Bucks assistant.
Right.
We do know it was not Bucks medical staff. They said it was assistant of Bobby Portis. So that's a fancy word, in my opinion, of saying it was one of his boys, right?
Right.
And however it went down, we can speculate. Bobby is not a drug guy. He's just not. You can't be in the NBA for as many years as he's been in and not had no incidents and become a drug guy. Okay, he's just not. He made a mistake. I don't know how it went down, but and Ken, you're right. Whenever you talk about Bobby Portis, you talk about his greatness, you talk about him coming off the bench and doing this. The narrative moving forward is going to be what? Man, he got suspended for 25 games, dog.
Right.
And it's like
exactly.
that's what he cannot control. And he's had such a terrible year with the loss of, like you say, his grandmother, his house being broken into. The rumors of being traded.
Oh,
I mean, think about that, man. I mean, he had all that on his mind. And so I'm not trying to excuse because, again, man, I have talked to people that know tramadol, man. They like, dude, you got to be kidding me. Like, this is not even powerful. Like it. So to me, rules are rules, but rules made without common sense. I think he got the same thing John Morant got. Are you serious?
Right.
And that was his first time. So to me, I just don't see where I could understand. You got a rule, you got to follow the rule, but there still should be some common sense in the fact that, hey, this dude has never done this before. We understand it was one pill. I mean, you want to tell me it was routine, then I might be like, oh, okay, well, maybe we need to, look and really help Bobby. Right. And you said one pill. Now, come on, man. Now, Ja got suspended the first time, came back, got suspended again. And what? He got 25 games. So what I'm saying is it's not, to me, it just, the punishment does not fit the crime, man, especially this time of the year, how important he is. And if you want to have competitive basketball, Like, this dude ain't hurt. No, they act like Bobby probably would have got the same thing. He had to choke somebody out there somewhere. Let's be honest. If he had to punch somebody, he probably got 25 games. This man took a pill. This is the problem, Ken. You can't give a punishment out to the fans and expect for them to accept it when there's no explanation. So we're looking at and we're saying, man, that's kind of harsh, man. Like 25 games for one pill, like what? And a pill that's not even like, you didn't say he was addicted to it. He's not going to rehab. He's still practicing with the team. So we're trying to understand how severe of a punishment requires 25 games. And what you say to me, if this man takes something that normally people say is weak anyway, that's not even a top of the line painkiller. You gonna tell me he gonna get 25 games for that? I think that the NBA needs to look at that, man. That's whack. That's whack.
Mike.
And he's losing millions of dollars. And the man's house was broken into. He's losing millions of dollars. He lost his grandmother. Stop it. Any rule made without common sense is not a good rule. We should be able. You see what I'm saying, Ken? The league should be able to sit down, have a conversation. This was his first time. Yeah, if Bobby came back and did it again, absolutely. Absolutely. But according to him, he slipped up. And Ken, okay, let me just give you a scenario, right? We at the house chilling, me and Ken, which we always used to do.
Right.
I said, Ken, man, I'm back, brother. Man, let me go home, man. We got some, man, I got this, this trauma, this, okay, yeah, let me just get it. All of a sudden now, okay, I report to duty in the Navy, right? I take a little urinalysis, boom. I'm like, oh, man, I just had a back, blah, blah. Should you kick me out, put me in Leavenworth? What should you do with me? It was a mistake. So what I'm trying to say is there got to be, man, I just don't understand these. They said justice is blind, but it ain't. It ain't blind because he should not have gotten 25 games, in my opinion, Ken.
So, Mike, he's expected to lose, I think it's $2.3 million from this 25 game suspension. Come on. But
that ain't right, bro. That ain't right.
The last thing I'll say on this, Mike, I think if they wouldn't have gave him the 25 game suspension, folks would have been saying, well, you gave Ja 25 games suspension.
But wasn't that after twice though?
I know, right? I got.
And wasn't that with a handgun?
Right.
It wasn't with a pill. It wasn't with medicine. So see, I don't care. You can make that argument, man, but that's a false equivalency. You cannot compare. That's apples and oranges. I got a pill and you got a gun. Okay, let's fight.
Yeah.
I'm throw my pill at you. Come on, Ken. But Ken, let me say this about and I'm gonna say something here, man, that some folks might not like, and I don't even like it myself, but it's almost, Ken, do I say a good thing for the Bucks? See, I don't even feel right saying that. But what I'm saying is what you're going to notice now is players are going to have to step up. We've seen it with Kevin Porter Jr. We've seen it with Kuz coming in, doing what he's doing. Now Jericho Sims is getting some time. These guys are going to get Bobby's minutes leading up to the playoffs, which is going to help them when they're put in that situation. Otherwise, they wouldn't. Sims, I don't think Sims don't get much time at all, to be honest with you. It wasn't looking like Doc wasn't going to give him no time. What happens? What happens if something happened to Brook? Now you got to move Bobby. Now you really need Sims. No, Sims is in the action. So for me, what I mean in a grotesque, twisted, kind of semi-perverted way, that is going to benefit the new guys. And Ken, you spoke of something that I think is so important in the sense that Bobby is outside of it. There was a culture with Bobby Portis. There's going to be a different culture when he comes back. Man.
Oh, definitely.
Think about it. Chris is gone. Okay, you bringing in Porter Jr., you bringing in Kuz, you bringing in Sims. I mean, and these are not just players that are at the end of the bench. Marjan's gone. I mean, you're bringing in guys that impact your team, not just on and off the court, but these are guys with huge personalities. So when Bobby comes back in, it's Bobby's gonna have to blend into that, because if they have to blend in and bring Bobby in and blend back, no, the old is gone, Ken. The old is gone. This is the new, improved Bucks, and with a new energy, with a new cast of characters. And so I think it's going to be real interesting to see when Bobby Portis comes back. And Ken, you know this. Don't let me know that I can make it without you.
Oh, well, yeah.
Come on. No, what you mean? I got to spend all that money? What you mean? Hey, we ain't got to go to the club like we used to. Oh, no. Don't let me know that I can live without you. So what I'm going to say is this. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Sims, what they do with Porter Jr., and we're going to talk a little bit about that in the end. So to wrap this up in a bow, it hurts the Bucks. It does hurt the Bucks. It hurts
up front,
but it helps the Bucks. It hurts and it helps, because you're going to get Sims in there. You're going to get Kuz is gonna play some of the 5, which he probably wouldn't have if Bobby was there. He would stay more at the 4, and so it's going to give other opportunities, because he's simply not there to players that would not get it, which can only make your team better. And there's a reason why they won how many in a row? 4 in a row?
4. Yeah.
Okay. And Ken, let's just say this too. Before this happened, Bobby lost his grandmother,
Yeah, right.
And he was gone like 2 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah, he was gone for like 2 weeks. So what I'm saying to you is, the team is starting to gel and mold without him. Is Milwaukee better with? No. I think, matter of fact, if Milwaukee had him right now, oh my God, the way that they're blending and molding and this and that, comes a Doc Rivers problem. It's a time problem. Who do I play? Who do I get in? It's less of that now, because you don't have Bobby Portis. So Ken, unfortunate, but I think in the long run,
you think it's going to help the team?
It's going to benefit the team. Oh, definitely. I think they're going to be a stronger team because of it. Not because they don't need him. It's simply because other players get time on the court. They get time to play with Giannis. They get, absolutely. And we must not forget, these are NBA players, dog. Stop it. We act like these guys. Man, Kevin Porter Jr. had 11 points in 11 minutes. Okay. So these are dudes.
Right.
These are dudes that do what they do, man. And a lot of times you don't see the potential because they don't get the opportunity. Now you got guys that got the opportunity. Let's transfer a little bit over to in the same vein, someone that is definitely not playing and out for the entire rest of the season is our man Victor Wembanyama. Ken.
Oof.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Oof. I hated that news, man. Because I love watching that dude develop and play. I'm curious about where he will end up. They brought Fox there, the left-hand assassin. He's there with him now. Ken, what was your thoughts, man, when you heard that?
I think that was the same day that the news broke on Bobby.
Yeah.
So I hate it for him. I'm pretty sure he can come back from it, I should say, next year. I think they shut him down just to be safe than sorry. It doesn't seem like it's a let's just say a huge health risk. I put it that way. But they want to be real cautious as far as this investment for San Antonio. Let's just say if it flares up next year, then we have to re-look at this, Mike, and say, is he going to, let's just say play a full full career. When I say that, let's just say 10 to 15 years. So I hate it. I mean, you want to see, let's just say, the stars on the floor, but shut him down, call it a day, and we'll see you next year.
Ralph
In
Sampson.
comparison, right? In comparison to Embiid, Embiid should have been. I know I'm getting off the subject a little bit. Should have been shut down a long time ago, and should be shut down. But
Well, I think Embiid should be shut down permanently. I just don't think Embiid physically, man. Embiid, listen, Embiid is an incredible player. I love watching him too, man. The step back, he'll drive on you and dunk on your head. The turnaround, but body, like his body, man. You can see Embiid when he's out there. He's laboring. The way he's moving, it's just not good. And for a big guy like that, big guys like that, like I said, Sam Bowie. When we look at guys like that, we look at Ralph Sampson. I think Sampson, Yao Ming with the foot. When we look at big guys, you hit it on the head. Right move. Hope it never happens again. Hope it never happens again. Because if it happens again, Chris Bosh, right? Blood clots, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's nothing to play with.
That's a good example, Mike.
It's nothing to play with, man. That's serious, man. That's life and death. Like, if you keep playing, man, you probably ain't gonna live, So to me, yes, it's the right thing to do. But Ken, God, man, we've seen it. That's the point I'm trying to say. I'm knocking on wood, and that this doesn't happen to Victor. And when I heard it, man, I was just like, man, you got to be kidding me, man. They just got Fox. I was looking forward to them getting in the play-in and making some noise. You know what I mean? I was looking forward to. I want to see Victor play at that high level. Although he's a young player, I thought he was on track to be Defensive Player of the Year. That's done with. He's not going to play enough games. I mean, he's not going to lead the league in blocks this year. That's done. I mean, so it's just a sad, sad thing, man. And I don't know. I don't know what he can do. I mean, I think he's got to naturally beef up. I mean, he got to get bigger, man. Because the word on the streets is just to be physical,
right?
Bang him up, get next to him, make him feel you. And I just think that Victor's going to have to. I understand he like to sit out there and and stroke the three, and hey, his percentage came up too, right? So he was out there stroking it, but. Nah, bro, you're gonna have to get in there with the Giannis's, with the Jokic, the Embiids, man. With the Karl Anthony Towns, man. You're gonna have to get in there with the big boys. And guess what? You either taking pain or you're giving pain. And I think he's taking too much, man. But man, speedy recovery, man.
I hope so, Mike. Because I mean, he has let's just say a slight frame. So yeah, he's gonna need to get in the weight room, build up. Again, hopefully, they can take care of this, and so he can be back for next season.
Yeah, that's what we could all hope, man. And maybe Papa be back, but I heard, Popovich is not gonna be, back anytime soon. So maybe we have a changing of the guard there.
Shut it down, bro.
We have to see. I mean, you can't, some folks. It's like them preachers, right? Preacher say, a preacher say, I ain't leaving the pulpit until the Lord take me home. I hope my baby out there trying to call plays. And it's time he calling Elizabeth, take me home. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, bro. You right, it's time. It's time, Ken. Man, listen, you have to know when to fold it and move on, man. And it because it gets ugly afterward. It gets ugly afterwards.
Because he had a stroke, right?
Yeah, he had a stroke. They said it was a mild stroke.
Stroke is a stroke.
Right? Come on. One thing we know about black people, we know about strokes. Let's just keep it real. I'm not. We know about stroke,
Oh
and
my!
look, ain't no mild stroke. No,
It's a stroke.
yeah, it's a stroke, and we know the older you are, the more difficult it is, man. And I wish him the best. You know, he had said Pop said he was gonna leave when Duncan left, and that didn't happen. So
Right.
he was trying to hang and coach the young fella. I know how exciting that is, man. But you have to know it is time to walk away and try to have some sort of happiness in your twilight years.
Oh, definitely. Better
Ken,
go
let's
to that
talk a
front
little
office.
exactly and sit down. Let's talk a little bit about in our closing minutes. I want to talk about New York Knicks.
Oh,
I want to talk about how we were told that the Knicks again was the team that was going to challenge Boston before we had the rise of Cleveland, before the season started and Cleveland leapfrogged everybody. So what do you think of New York, man? They played, I guess, OKC, Boston, Cleveland. They're 0-6 now. They're 0-7
it's 0-7,
against
right?
against the top 3 teams in the league. What does that say about New York? Do you see New York as a contender or a pretender?
A pretender, Mike.
Mm.
And the reason why I say that is that they're both 0-7. Was it 0-7 since they lost to Boston?
0-7.
0-7. So this is what gets me with New York. And I know it's a big market city. Lights are bright. Everybody wants to see what's happening in New York, what's going on. Madison Square Garden. Everybody wants to play and put on a show. So I'm going to start this way. Towns. So when he doesn't have it going offensively, he gets distracted. When I say distracted, is that I'm just going to give up. I'm not going to rebound. I ain't going to give no assists. I'm going to give little effort. I've seen it in the past, I'm going to say 3 years. If he's shooting well, hey, I'm all in it. I'm flexing.
Yeah.
But he's too wishy-washy for me.
Mm.
They say when you're not scoring or if you haven't not shooting well, let's put it that way. You try to get more rebounds, you try to get more assists, you try to help other players
You affect the
get
game
going.
in a different
Right.
way.
Exactly. That's not what he's going to do.
Mm.
He's going to kind of like, pout, get a lot of fouls, sometimes foul out. Brunson got too much on his shoulders.
Mm.
He do, and I think this is just me watching his game. I think, man, Brunson is truly one of the best guards in the league right about now.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you just forcing to be forcing. That gets him in trouble. They really don't, in my mind, they bench is questionable. As far
At
as
best.
right.
Well, Tibbs only plays 7-8 players. I mean, he don't never go
Right.
deep in his bench, so we really wouldn't know, right?
They're right. Then that was my next point. They are playing wait a minute, let me phrase it. Way too many minutes from
Absolutely.
the starters. Way too many minutes. And their defense is just porous. I think they in the bottom quartile as far as defense efficiency is concerned. So they got a lot they need to work on.
Ken, it goes back to what we talked about, man. When will a point guard be the one that leads your team to a championship? Now, we said smaller guard. Now, Magic is different. Magic was 6'9", 6'10". That's something different. You affect the game differently. I don't care what anybody say. Magic, taller guards affect the game differently than smaller guards. Smaller guards have to work hard. Brunson works hard. Dame works hard. You see them guys out there, they juking, man. They because they don't have that they don't have that ability, man, to play above the rim. They play under the rim. And there's a difference. And so when you talk about Jalen, he's remarkable. He's remarkable. I mean, he be out there, man, but he working. He expends so much energy on the offensive end to get his shot. He herking, he jerking, he faking, he this, that. And this is every time down. And if you don't think that's taking something out of you, like sometimes you, especially as a point guard, he's got to run the offense. He's got to be, if not the best player on the floor, the second best player on the floor for New York. If you say like Towns got it going on, but many times he's got to be the best player. He's got to run the offense. He's got to be the best player, and you're probably holding somebody like Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
you probably holding Darius Garland. Like you understand what I'm saying? So when we look at this picture, we understand that New York just does. Man, Boston was simply doing, they would do just ball screen. It was just high-low ball screen all night long. High-low ball screen. They was in the drop coverage, and JT and them was just eating them up. I mean, it wasn't nothing fancy, man. I'm looking at New York. I'm like, man, why don't y'all switch, press up?
Right.
Listen, that drop coverage ain't working, man. It's hard to play drop coverage against.
Because Porzingis was killing them.
Thank you. You have to, and that's the problem I have with Tibbs. He doesn't play enough players. Okay, these guys are playing 40 minutes a night. You're sooner or later it's going to take a toll on you asking too much. Can you start off by saying Brunson has too much on his shoulders? Absolutely. I was not a fan of the trade. I was not a fan of getting rid of Julius Randolph because I thought Julius, and I'm gonna tell you why. Not that Cat is not a better player to a certain degree.
Okay.
But it was the game. It was the way the game was played. Julius played down low. He would post you up. He would try to cut and go to the basket. Listen, Cat's going to do one or two things. He's going to shoot that three on you, or he's going to try to fake you and drive. That's it. He's not going to play with his back to the basket. He's not going to get down low. He's not going to get dirty. And the problem I have is that he's a perimeter big. Now, they say Mitchell Robinson is coming back. I don't know why everybody is so incredibly excited. Like,
what that mean?
I understand he is a decent big man, but is Mitchell Robinson a difference maker?
Nope.
No. So to me, Precious Achiuwa, average. Okay. And then you have Mikal Bridges.
You know,
Mikal,
let me just stop you.
I know that's your boy. I know.
I'm like, what's going on with him, Mike?
Man,
is he?
Bruh, hey, I don't know what happened.
Hart, he ain't playing well.
Oh no, and again, Josh Hart he's a utility guy. I mean, Josh Hart is a guy that's gonna get you rebounds, foul. I mean, he's gonna get steals. He's gonna make those right defensive plays. But Josh
50,
Hart
50.
is not something if you depended on Josh Hart to take you over the mountain, you're in trouble. Like I'm gonna ask you a question, Ken. Where are the ball players, the superstars, the difference makers on the New York Knicks as we look at Boston, as we look at Cleveland, as we look at Milwaukee? Where are they? It's not a Giannis there, not a Jason Tatum there. I mean, let's keep it real. You got JT, you got Jalen, you got White, you got Porzingis, you got Drew. I just gave you 5 that can get buckets. Where's that on New York?
Brunson and Towns.
So you going up against a team that everyone can get buckets, this, that, and the other thing. You in trouble because you don't have the talent. And one thing I say that was shocking to me from a Tibbs team, that they got out hustled.
Yeah,
they got outworked.
They outworked. Right. Exactly.
Man, usually what you're going to get from New York going to try to outwork you, right? Nah, Boston just outworked you. Boston, a whole nother conversation, man. I don't like watching. They had 48 threes, man, that game.
That's a different story, Mike.
It's a different story.
But the thing about it is that Hart is supposed to be the heart of the team. The guy, like you said, going to get you the 50-50 balls. That's going to get you the rebounds. And, hit some threes, let's just say big threes. But that's not happening either. Bridges, I don't know where his mind is at right about now.
Man, I don't know what you can look good in one situation and you think it's going to translate to the next. We look at Paul George. Paul George looks a shell of himself in Philly. I mean, I just think sometimes it's, as they say, Ken, it's not green on the other side. It might be more money on the other side,
right?
Some more green on the other
right.
side, but it ain't better on the other side. So, man, let's talk a little bit in our closing minutes, man. I just want to talk a little bit about the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are not getting any type of they've won 4 straight without Bobby Portis, with Giannis on limited minutes, with Dame missing a game. The Bucks have been maintaining, I think, a decent level of basketball play. Ken, what do you see with the impact of Kyle Kuzma, Kevin Porter Jr. and Sims? What do you see? How does that enhance the Bucks as a team?
So let me start off with Kevin Porter Jr. Can get his own shot, can take you off the dribble, can pull up mid-range, can shoot the 3. That's what the Bucks needed. They needed somebody who wasn't standing out on the 3-point line, waiting to get a pass, or Giannis to come down and drive and kick it out to him. This boy can ball. He was drafted by the Bucks originally. Go ahead.
Ken, let me. I'm not going to interrupt you, but I'm just going to make a comment. How many years have we been calling for that? How many years have we been having this conversation about get some dude like him? Years.
Yeah, I would say for the last 5, 6.
It's been crazy,
but,
man, and you see the impact.
Yeah, and but that was, I'll say this, Mike, that was Chris Middleton in his prime. As far as shoot the 3, post you up, mid range. But now Chris, he got hurt, traded, and everything. Kuzma, it gives him a little bit more length, I would say. Can rebound. I think his rebounding, I'm more impressed with that than anything about his other game, as far as those factors are concerned. Kuzma could be, I'll say, their secret weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he can go down low. He can, I'll say, decently can shoot the 3. Just kind of a more powerful kind of force in their starting 5. I think he's just getting, let's just say, worked in. The more games that they have, the better he'll be when playoffs time comes. I think I'll say this about Kuz, is that he is definitely happy to be there.
Oh,
coming from Washington.
Very happy.
Yeah, exactly. Sam's, I mean, question mark is still out on him. I got to see a little bit more of him. He's getting more minutes, which is a good thing with Bobby being out. So the jury's still out on him. But I'll say this, Mike, is that the Bucks have to do a better job, let's just say, in their start. I think they were down like 35. They were first quarter against Washington, 35-19 against Washington. They struggled. Fourth quarter, they came on. But a team like Washington, you should be beaten by 15-20. But that's just me. Miami, they let Hero just get 40, which I was a little disappointed in that. Hero, he can shoot it. He's just that he ain't that great of a player, but that's my opinion.
I don't think. Why I am happy for Tyler. Very happy for Tyler Hero, homeboy. Not really from the crib, but from the crib. We'll say that, right? Greenfield is not the crib, right? Okay. But this is the problem I had, though, Ken. Is he better than Devin Booker?
No.
So see, this is what he's an all-star. So this is what I'm talking about, man. When we start talking about these players, I know one is in the East and one is in the West, but I'm just making a comparison. Tyler Hero is a great bucket getter. That's it. That's all he's gonna give you is offense. He ain't gonna give you no D. He's not gonna work hard on defense. He's not a game changer. He'll have some hot nights where he'll eat you up. But you can see he had 40. He had 27 shots. They took the L. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, yeah, it was good. You came in the crib. You had a 40 piece, got all that, but you took an L. So I don't have a problem with Tyler Hero necessarily. I hate that he got 40 against, but you had to give Miami something. And the Bucks game plan was simply, we gonna let him shoot. We gonna let him shoot. We gonna let Bam try to get loose. Everybody else, we shutting down. Everybody else, we gonna stop. You see, Wiggins got busy early on. He faded. Right. I don't think Hero even scored in the last 4 minutes. They put Kuz on him. They had Kevin Portis Jr. on him, and so they made it more tougher for him. So I don't, man, the Bucks, the short or the slow starts, I just feel like, man, they just look disorganized when they start, man. It's just like the ball sticks when they start, right? It's almost like, I don't know, like they're like Dame's looking at Giannis and Giannis looking at him, and now Kuz is like, should I so it seemed to me like there's just hesitation on their part until they actually get in the flow of the game. Kevin Porter Jr. is just a dude that he just gonna come in and ball. Like y'all could be looking at each other. Guess what? I'm hooping. I'm going to the hole. And you could look at I was so happy that run last night was with Giannis and Dame on the bench watching. That's what I want. Yeah, sit there. We gonna do this. Okay, if y'all not gonna do this, y'all can sit there. We want to play. Give us some playing time. So that's motivation for them. Listen, the game was turned around and won. The bench won that game for them.
Won that game. Exactly.
Okay. So as a starter, now you have to re-examine yourself when your bench is going in there and flipping the script on you and winning the game for you. I understand. There's some minutes restrictions. But still, Ken, let me say this. I feel as though when Giannis came back, and Giannis had missed all those games, when he came back, Kuz was playing, and Kuz had a good game, don't get me wrong, but his game wasn't as fluid. And what he's got to do, he's even said himself, I think that was only his second game with Giannis. So he's, right now, you have that other adjustment. How is that starting five going to work? Ken, what happened to Torian, bro? Where did he go yesterday? I watched him. He just watched Hero just go lay the ball up. I was like, is his ankle still jacked up or what, man? Man, I don't know, man. You know what? You allowed to have a bad game every now and then.
Oh, yeah, right.
If you come off the bench, unless you the GOAT. If you the GOAT, then we don't expect the GOAT to go 5 for 27 and still have 40 and 5 steals, three blocks. He finds a way to win, right? But no, I think the Bucks are a much better team. I think they're more athletic. I think they have guys now that are not totally dependent upon Giannis and Dame. I think we're going to see a lot more of that closing lineup, Ken, where you got Giannis, you got Brook, you got Dame, you got Kevin Porter Jr., and you got Kuz. That's going to be that closing lineup, bro.
Okay.
I like it. Not the starting lineup, because let him come off the bench and eat a little bit. Let him come off the bench. He hungry. Kevin Porter Jr., he hungry. Let him come off the bench and eat some first. Don't let him get full. Yeah, it's about to get interesting, Ken. This is the time of the year where basketball gets interesting because everybody's joggling for position. And we know in the East, The Bucks are in the 5th. They're behind Indiana.
Yeah.
And so you're not gonna catch Cleveland. You're not gonna catch Boston. You can catch New York though.
You can
catch New York and Indiana. And they should be shooting for, when I hear Giannis, well, no position. We don't care about position. We just care about playing well. You better care about position.
Right.
Okay. Because position matter, right? There's a reason. Otherwise it wouldn't matter, right? I mean, like, it's proven statistically, dude. Like, yes, I'm not saying you cannot, but I'm saying the road is much harder when you got your first 2 games against people that are yelling at you and booing you and trying, let alone coming out in front of your friendly crowd that loves you and adores you. There is a difference, Mr. Giannis. So in conclusion, Ken, what's your takeaway?
So right now the Bucks are a game and a half behind Indiana. They need to, move past Indiana, and hopefully, I would say, and you mentioned it, hopefully they can catch New York.
Oh yeah, they definitely gonna catch, because you saw Carl Anthony, he hurt his knee. Now, knock on wood, I want him to be all ready, but whenever something happened to these players, they sit out for knee soreness. I mean, he might miss 3-4 games for knee soreness. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm just being honest. We don't even know who playing. I told you, I think I mentioned to you at the last podcast, I had never checked the injury report before this year. Before I watch games, I'm like, okay, he ain't gonna be there. All right. What else is on TV?
Right.
It's crazy. So who knows, Ken? I agree with you. I think they can catch him. So that's it, brother?
Yeah, that is it, Mike.
So, folks, what do you think about Bobby Portis? What do you think about what happened to Victor? Do you think he should still be eligible for awards? It wasn't his fault that he's missing games, Ken. Maybe he should still be eligible for he's played 3/4 of the season. But the rule says you got to play 65 games or something like that?
Yeah, 65.
So, what do you think, folks?
Mike, to be honest, Mike, last thing is that he should get Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion.
Yeah, he has earned it. We'll see what.
That's not gonna happen.
No. Like the NBA say, a rule is a rule, folks. And our rule is we gonna go ahead and get out of here. The world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity in our everyday life. This is why they play the game.